Hey, what's going on, you too cool for school, Toad Scroll? Today we're talking Tyrantrum. Now, this card came out a little while ago, but it is a fossil Pokemon. So it got a big new buff in the fossil Quarry that we just got from Pitch Black that allows us once during our turn to search our deck for up to 2 Pokemon with Antique in its name. And of course, that is the basic Pokemon of Tyrantrum, the Antique Jaw Fossil. So Tyrantrum, it's actually pretty decent for a 1 prize Pokemon. Its ability says if it has a special energy card attached to it, it gets plus 150 HP. And then for just a single fighting and colorless, it does 160 damage. And you flip a coin to get tails for each head. So you discard the top card of your opponent's deck. And there's a pretty convenient fighting energy in the current format, or special fighting energy, special energy card that is also a fighting energy in the current format, the Rocky Fighting Energy, which removes or prevents all effects of attacks done to the Pokemon, the fighting Pokemon that it is attached to. We also have 9 basic fighting to go alongside that, and it is a very fighting focused deck. So Tyrantrum is the star of the show, of course, with its potentially 330 HP, hitting for 160 damage, 2-hit KOing most relevant things in the format, not quite everything. I do play 1 Premium Power Pro and 1 Blood Moon Ursaluna to kind of help close out knockouts potentially, or even go for like a 1-2 hit punch from a Solrock into a Blood Moon Ursaluna. And one thing with fossils, of course, as well, is there's no way to recover them conveniently. We do have Dedenne in the format, but that would require our attack for turn to recover the fossil to then put it in play next turn. So I was a little bit too slow to consider playing. So we do need some other attackers potentially besides the Tyrantrums. We do play 4 Jaw Fossil, and we play 3 Tarragon, so we have the potential of setting up 4 Tyrantrum total. But if we like prize a Jaw Fossil, or one gets KO'd early, we're only going to be able to set up maybe 3 Tyrantrum. We might need a couple other attackers to be able to close out games. So overall, it is a 4-3-3 Tyrantrum line. I play a 3-2 Solrock Lunatone line. Opening Solrock is nice. Finding Solrock and Lunatone is a big deal. So if we're going to add an extra Solrock or Lunatone to the deck, just because of the odds of opening the Pokemon, we'd rather open a Solrock in our active than a Lunatone. So we play 3 Solrock, 2 Lunatone, and it is kind of our early game attacker with that as well. 2-2 Barbaracle. This is also another big buff that the deck got, not from this set, but the previous set. With its Stone Arms ability, we can attach a basic fighting energy from our hand to one of our fighting Pokemon. Actually, was this 2 sets ago? Actually, I think this is 2 sets ago now, right? It all kind of blends together after a while. But being able to chain Tyrantrum is also a big deal, because it is possible our Tyrantrum gets KO'd or gets 1-hit KO'd, and then in that situation, that's where the Barbaracle comes in to be able to accelerate extra energy into play, so we can actually chain back to back to back to back even Tyrantrums, possibly. So a 2-2 Barbaracle, we only ever try and set up 1 of these into play, so the other 2 pieces are kind of just fodder. And depending on how slow the game goes, I have had games where I don't even set up the Barbaracle, because a single Tyrantrum can sometimes survive a whole turn or 2, which means we have plenty of time to manually build up attachments on our follow-up Tyrantrum. But in situations where that doesn't happen, or we don't find the energy early on, or our opponent like boss KOs our Tyrant before we actually get it to a Tyrantrum, it's important to have the Barbaracle to back up the Tyrantrums with some form of energy acceleration. Or if our early attachments go to Solrocks as well for early KOs with Cosmic Beam, or early pressure with Cosmic Beam, once again, the Barbaracle kind of fills the gap as the game progresses. The other 2 Pokemon I have in here, I have Shaman. Now, I do think the Dragapult matchup is pretty tough for this deck, I'm not going to lie. And of course, having a bad Dragapult matchup is pretty bad. So with decks like this, where we do have kind of that bad Dragapult matchup, I like to try and focus as much as beating everything else in the format as possible. So I don't love teching Shaman in every deck right now. It does help us with like Wellspring Masks, Darmanitan from Zoroark, and there's another big one, Slowking, the Kyurem from Slowking. So, but when we're taking a rough matchup to Dragapult, I think it's worth including tech cards to shore up those other matchups. That's why I have the Shaman in here. For the bench snipes, and then I have a Relicanth in here. The Relicanth's actually really, really cool and quite a big deal for the threat level of the Tyrantrum, especially into Mega Pokemon. We only do 160 damage with Wreak Havoc, but the Tyrant has an attack, Get Angry for a fighting and a colorless, and we do 20 damage for each damage counter on this Pokemon. So if Tyrantrum gets like punched by a Dragapult, and the Dragapult has full HP, there's a situation where we could go for a 2-hit KO with a Wreak Havoc, but maybe we haven't hit him with the Wreak Havoc yet. We can go ahead and get Relicanth, put it into play, and then 1-hit KO them with the Get Angry from the Tyrant. So the Relicanth is really, really cool for that. Mostly into the Mega Dex is where that matters, but can come up in other situations as well. I think I used it to like KO a Genesect or maybe a Stevens Metagross. I actually don't remember. For the supporter lineup, of course, we have for Lily. Targon is super good in these fighting box style decks. So we have 3 of those. 3 of those might be overkill. Maybe it should just be 2 of them. Not 100% sure. I do have 2 Gwen in here. I initially had 2 Dawn, and I had like a Hassle, but the more I played with the deck, the more I realized I do just kind of have a lot of excess Pokemon in the mid-late game, depending on how things go. I'll end up with extra Tyrantrum pieces, or extra Solrox and Lunatones, or like I said, we only usually set up 1 Babaracle, so the other 2 Babaracle pieces are kind of fodder as well. The Ursaluna doesn't get used every game, the Relicanth, the Shaman, so on and so forth. Plenty of fodder for the Gwen, and the Gwens have felt great in here so far. I could maybe see going up to a 3rd, but it hasn't felt like super necessary yet. Only 1 boss's orders. We are a 1 prize deck. Usually with these 1 prize decks, we don't need to gust a ton. We already kind of outprize trade our opponent by attacking over and over again with our 1 prize Pokemon, but sometimes we do need a little bit of extra prize trade advantage, and that's where the 1 boss's orders comes into play. 4 Fighting Gong, 4 Pokepad. Oh, you do want to choose first with this deck. You want to go first, get to the Lunar Cycle, start cycling through your deck, start to develop your Tyrantrums as well. 1 Premium Power Pro, like I mentioned, just a little bit of extra damage. We don't need a ton. This is enough. 1 Rare Candy. We mostly manually evolve up to the Tyrantrum, but sometimes we need a slightly faster Tyrantrum, and we have the 1 Rare Candy for that. And 1 card we can use to help pull everything together for those big combo turns is the Secret Box, which is my current ace spec of choice in here, just to try and be a little bit more consistent, keep things flowing and going. The Secret Box is great at doing those things, and we have powerful tool cards with the air balloons for the mobility, the Fossil Quarry, of course, and then the item, depending on the situation, is always going to be a big impact, and the supporter for turn as well. So Secret Box has felt great. Other ones to consider would maybe be like Legacy Energy is like the main one that comes to mind, is trying to like extend the game, but we get so much value out of Tyrantrums once we set them up. I feel like using Legacy Energy to extend the game in a deck like this, it doesn't quite have the same value as something like a Turbo Delmise, and just getting to the Tyrantrums more consistently is the bigger factor for putting the pressure on our opponent to be able to win games. So for that reason, going with the Secret Box, it feels really good so far. But with that said, let's jump to the action, and I'll show y'all how it went. I just need to pull fuel for Gwen here, I feel like. I want to draw into Soul Rock. I want to draw into Energy. I priced 3 basic Energy. Got those. My active could die. I could like turn 1 Clefairy, KO this. Do I ever Air Balloon Retreat just to preserve it to a Fossil? But I prized a Fossil, so I don't really want to do that. I think I grab this thing, because this thing to be in the discard pile to synergize with Targon is probably correct. And I wouldn't want this to late game probably anyways. There's a Fighting Gong. Pass. What do you and Chip do with the cards from your videos? Currently they're just sitting at Chip's house in boxes, but I think the plan is like to eventually try and like sell them as bulk. If we can find someone to sell them to, is like the idea. If you're opening virtual packs, you're dumb and have a gaming problem. I mean, I kind of disagree with that. Like, if that, like, there's nothing wrong with doing those things. Yeah, like, you don't necessarily have a gambling problem if you're opening digital packs of Pokemon cards. I think it is all bullshit at the end of the day, but gambling in general is just all bullshit at the end of the day. Okay, they got some stuff going on there. What the fuck is happening? Yeah, all that stuff in general is just kind of bullshit. Gambling in general is just kind of bullshit. But it doesn't mean, like, if you want to gamble, if you gamble responsibly, it's whatever. It's just like entertainment at the end of the day. So whatever form you want to do it in is, there's not necessarily it's not necessarily bad. Yeah, it's not necessarily bad. It's not inherently bad. It's how you approach the activity that can be bad. Better to avoid it than do it. Yeah, better to avoid it than do it. What am I up against here? Stevens? I really want my Lunatone to die. Okay, retreat to Soul Rock. Because I have 2 other Soul Rocks in the deck. That seems reasonable. I didn't really want to lose the Air Balloon to the Lunatone either, but... Do I need Shaman against Stevens? Oh, I actually might. Well, depends how fast they can set up the Deoxys, right? Everything is gambling at this point? Yeah. Gambling inherently isn't bad, but it's something that shouldn't be advertised.
It's gonna be interesting.
What's up, Scooby Doom? Alright, let's see what we draw. I didn't want to play the Premium Power. I could have played the Premium Power Pro because it's possible that I draw into everything I need to actually take the knockout, but it's unlikely. I did whiff. Alright, Lunar Cycle again to try and pull this together. Oh, what the fuck? We just draw the nuts? I should have played that Premium Power Pro. I literally drew everything. Yeah, we literally just drew the nuts there. Was it perfect 3? Did I just draw a perfect 3 off Lunar Cycle? Perfect 2? How many do we, I should have played the Premium Power Pro. I should have played it. How many we milling? All right, whatever, man. I don't want a million cards anyways. I don't have a way around this, right? I don't think I play any way around that. Who came up with Uncommon Energy and what was the inspiration? Me and Chip kind of like simultaneously had the idea. Oh wait, no, I can only accelerate to fighting in Pokemon. Throw this here to get rid of it. Really. Of like doing a podcast and then like that led to the other stuff that we do. Or content. And I'm kind of locked in right now. But his brother actually came up with the name of the podcast, and that 7, bro. They only have 13 cards left, or 16. My bad. Oh, we got the recycler. That's money. That is money. Big plays, big plays. Yeah, me and Chip both kind of came together, and we both had like the idea of wanting to do a podcast. And we basically like we simultaneously asked each other to do the podcast. I think maybe he approached me first, but like I had the same idea of asking him. So, and then we had the idea of like doing like the more casual like Uncommon Energy content, like we do with like the booster box openings and stuff like that. It's something like we both had the idea of, and it just made sense to try and do it together. Oh, they didn't even kill me? Dude, you don't even take the knockout here? What are you doing? That's all you got? Bro, no way. How do they not have more than that? Okay, this creates an interesting situation. Or I could get Relicanth and I could knock out the active. Then I lose a Jaw Fossil, which I don't like. I'm a little bit undecided on how I want to approach this. I think I'm just going to Gwen. And I'm going to Lunar Cycle. I could still do the Relicanth play. Ooh, they could be setting up for like a Deoxys. I don't really have anything I want to Secret Box out of this hand though, really, right? Maybe I should like get like one energy setup, evolve here, attack. Yeah, I'm okay with this, I think. Lost Relicanth? Nah, because then I only have, if I do that, I only have 2 Tyrantrums left, like 1 Tyrantrum left at that point. I don't know if that'll be enough to close out the game. Oh, yeah. I'd be like scared of running out of attacking options, basically. Dude, what the fuck? Is this just like Pearl spam the deck? Like, I prize one of my baby fossils. One of my baby fossils. What's a baby fossil? One of my baby dinos, aka the fossil. What's left in here? I need to use this for a dino anyways. So I'll hit him with the lunar cycle. Hit him with Targon. I don't even know if I'll need the other dino pieces, but I have 2 other Targons I can use at some point if I need them. Now I have a bench space open for the Relicanth, or I could Pokepad for Shaman if I feel like I need Shaman. So we got a couple options here moving forward. But this should basically be a dub at this point, I think. What's your best tip for someone who wants to compete in their first regional? Show up the second registration opens for the regional you want to try and go to so you can get registered for the event. And not miss out on registration. Ooh, I am going into special red card range, because should that have changed how I played this hand? I don't think so. That's like the only actually thing to have thought about there, to be honest. We're going to special red card range. Maybe that would have been a reason to have played the secret box to like thin out the deck more, but I don't know. What's left in my deck? A Shaman and a Lily, I think. I played my first official Pokemon League games yesterday, 2 wins, 2 losses, and a draw because my opponent drew the game out so long the timer ran out. It's so much more work playing in person. It is a really big difference. If you're trying to be competitive at all in the game, getting some IRL experience before going to like your first major tournament is usually a good idea through cups, challenges, local stuff like that. But I hope you enjoyed your experience, and we'll do it again for sure. What's the best toy to pull from Wendy's X Illuminations, Minions, and Monsters meal? I don't know. What are the options? I don't know what the options are. You guys really love this Monsters and Minions meal. Is there a better time to use this? I don't think so. I'm just gonna burn it. And then enter Relicanth just to have it in play, and then play Lily for the reset. Nice try, Mello. Not gonna catch me slipping today. Yeah, because I'd rather get the Wreck Havoc KO to like play for the mill win condition in case things get weird. But I should be able to just win with boss next turn, obviously. Ooh, or do we win right now with 5 heads? Oh, another 7? Bro! That's insane. Let's go. That's a dub. We don't even need all 6 prize cards. Don't need them. Don't want them. I don't want the 6 prize cards. Never even thought about trying to draw the last couple prize cards. This is it. It's over. This matchup seems like it could be tough. We'll see. Cosmic Beaming seems kind of mid because it just gives them Monkey Dory damage, and they could just like try and... I mean, they could just like... this matchup is probably just bad because they can just do Yveltal, Monkey Dory, cheese. But if my opponent like punches into a Tyrantrum, then we can just obviously Relicanth respond. Why is it Promo Grookey optimal? It's just kind of... It's just KO's Baby Manetric. That's kind of it, to be honest. That's it. KO's Baby Manetric. For 2 grass and a Gladion and KO's Ogerpon. I guess the other one does that, though, so that's not even a reason. Yeah, KO's Baby Manetric, that's it. I don't know, 2-2 split. That's a good question there, Charles. Yeah, has anyone actually tried the Minions Frosty from Wendy's? Or y'all just a bunch of posers? Even about it like that? Not the first deck ever, but how about the first deck you took to a regional? The first deck I took to a regional championship was Blast Caddy in 2009. All I have, and it's insanely nasty. Not good. I really want to play this. Not that much value to be gained from it right now, I don't think. No, the Shuppet one was the first tournament I played in Masters. Oh, if we don't develop our board a little bit more here, I am kind of scared of Claw of Darkness next turn. Fuck. Oh, I had to retreat Soul Rock here because they're just going to take away my Targon, right? Fuck. I need to top deck something. Yeah, I should have retreated Solrock there instead of attaching to a draw fossil. Now we're just not gonna be able to set up to play the game. Am I a Red Sox fan? Not really, no. What are some deck building tips you can give for Pokemon? I started getting to the TCG almost for a year now. I've been trying to come back into the Pokemon playing the preset decks on live. Just keep playing the game. The better you are at playing the game, the better you'll be at deck building. They just kind of go hand in hand. For the most part. Am I excited for this NBA season? Not overly, no. It'll be interesting to see who makes the playoffs. Oh my gosh, they just threw. What the fuck? Okay, I'll take it. Like, you always get rid of Tarragon there. Not even a question. Proud of my opponent for letting me play the game. Punching this for 70 is just like an L. I mean, this is gonna be tough no matter what, to be honest. All right, we need if they get the first attack off, we need to respond to them with a Tyrantrum punch. We have not done that in the slightest. Maybe they don't have boss here though. Thoughts on LeBron to Philly? I mean, I think it's just kind of interesting to that LeBron is switching teams. It'll be interesting to see how it plays out. About it though. Watch Marvel movies / Avengers. Yeah, I don't keep up with everything the way I used to, but like I'll watch the new Spider-Man, new Doctor Doom when they come out. I wait until they come out on Disney Plus, but might go see them in theaters. Could Solrock be better than Cinderace and Rampardos? The two cards don't do the same thing. The question you're wondering is it worth to run Solrock and Lunatone in Rampardos? The answer is no. But those cards don't do the same thing. You're losing energy acceleration to add... I don't know, what are we adding? Good choice. Good choice there, laddie. I might actually boss KO the Evital because I'm so scared of it. We'll see. I do not want to get clutched. I need a special energy here first. Okay, evolve. Bench. Honestly, I'm down to Prism Tower right now because I do have dead cards in the hand. Like these two in the discard pile would be nice. Whiff, Air Balloon, Lily, Pray to find special energy so I can punch and maybe do something. Okay, we found the special energy. Get the value out of the candy now as well. Oh, they can't terminal period the active because of the Rocky fighting. But if I do this, they can just retreat and clutch like my Lunatone, and then things get weird. I don't know. Then they have all this damage to work with from Monkey Dory. Maybe I could have just passed. No, but if I pass, I just boss, and then 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 eventually they get so far ahead on the prize exchange that I lose. So yeah, I don't think I can boss. I don't think I could wait. Maybe I have to hope for them to misplay though. Maybe I do have to hope they make a mistake. Maybe that's my only win con. I could have just passed there. If they punch my active, I go find Relicanth. If they don't punch my active, and hopefully they don't have boss. I could attach Rocky to Lunatone, yeah. We have more liabilities than just Lunatone. Solrock's a liability, Lunatone's a liability. I guess Binacle's not currently a liability because I can go Evolve Retreat, but not ideal. Not ideal. I meant Solrock and Barnacle Guy, Fighting Engine. For Rampardos. I could see it being okay, I guess. The thing is, I think Rampardos by itself isn't really that good. Yeah, I think Rampardos by itself isn't really that good. You need to like play with Bash It On to have it be actually okay enough. So it's just kind of bad, I think. Are they gonna punch my active? Oh. Wait, is it in the discard pile? No, but I know it's in the deck. I mean, they always get rid of Rocky fighting here. If they don't get rid of Rocky fighting, I'd be very confused. Yeah, okay. I think we Lunar Cycle first. I could actually, at this point, this is like pretty low value card. I'm just gonna grab this and put it in my hand. Or no, that should have. Ooh, that's actually a mistake. Yeah, I messed up. I actually got to be careful about decking out here. I gotta chill a little bit. But here we go. Big Relicanth knockout. Never before seen tech. Oh, they like play weird stuff like Zerosic sometimes too, right? Yeah. All right, we'll see. Maybe I do just evolve this because I could. Oh, hitting for 80 is so bad though. I don't want to give like another liability in play. All right. Get angry. Goodbye, Absol. You're dead, buddy. You thought you had to play. You thought. They weren't prepared for the get angry though. For sure. Sure. I'm confused to use Stretcher for Mega Absol just to Prism Tower away. They probably thought they had a play that they didn't have, and they were just like, oh, well, I guess I just don't do that then. There's one. We have one Premium Power Pro in the deck currently. Just one, though. Here we go. Oh, they really don't like the Relicanth after what it did to them. How many boss do they have left? 2 boss left. I have 2 special fighting energy left. You can find one. But how many lilies do I have left so I make sure I don't deck out? Oh fuck, I'm out of lily. Oh no. That's not good. I gotta find the energy. I shouldn't have played that lily. I should have played out of hand. Alright, this might be pretty bad. Oh, I might actually deck out. I shouldn't have played the lily. Playing the lily was really bad. I didn't realize it was my last one. I just kind of like assumed I had like another lily to work with. But that is not true. You find the energy, they just boss again? They could. We have another energy though. We have 2 energy left. They have 2 boss left though, so they get the advantage eventually. But they have to find the boss, obviously. That's a question mark. That's a question. Do they have the boss? What are they playing for here? Do they search out a tome off the petrol? I'd be feeling pretty comfortable about our situation if I just held the boss. Yeah, if I just held the boss.
Alright.
Whiffed again. I just gotta try and draw into it. I had both Barbaracle. Dude, they're both. I'm just not gonna draw them. Dude, if I just didn't play the Lily, I'd be fine because I could just like play a Targon, then play Lily, and I'd be like fine. I want a Lunar Cycle though. It's like too many cards. I don't know. We're just gonna lose the deck out now. Kind of sad for the situation we're in. I shouldn't have played the Lily. I should have checked first because immediately when I played it, I was like, wait a second. We have another Lily left, right? We did not. If I just had a Lily to work with here, it'd be fine. I also maybe should have just chilled and let this thing get into range of dying, and then when they go for the next target, that's when I put a... Fuck, yeah, I could have just chilled. But now I don't want to put this in play until they go with another boss. Oh, too many mistakes, man. Too many mistakes. Too many mistakes getting punished. Yeah, if I just like played the Lily but then didn't draw, but I shouldn't have played the Lily to begin with. I should have just like Lunar Cycled to get closer to them, but then still have the deck reset through the Lily. All right, we'll see what they do next turn. It is still possible to win. Still possible, because this turn they have the boss. Then I go Rocky Fighting. Then we see if they have another boss to respond to the Rocky Fighting. There's the boss. They bring up the Lunatome. Sure. We wait and see. Rocky Fighting pass. If I can attack this next turn, we still have a chance. Find a preemptive Rocky Fighting. Because if I put a Rocky Fighting on the Lunatone, then they just boss the Soul Rock. If I had both Rocky Fighting in hand... See, if I just played slower, a little bit more controlled, I would have just won. Preempting the Rocky Fighting doesn't do anything, because then they would just bring up the Soul Rock instead. If I had both Rocky Fighting in hand, then I could have preempted it. I don't know when I'm going to get the other Rocky Fighting, so... Now my only win con is my opponent throwing. Which they might do. Let's find out. Premium Power Pro! Premium Power Pro! Hold on! Hold on! Hold. I forgot about the Premium Power Pro. But it still has to be the Rocky Fighting because I can't let them trap this. Never forget about the Premium Power Pro. Oh my gosh. Is it winnable? The answer is yes. Will we win? I actually don't know. We'll find out. We're back in it. So my local community is hosting an unofficial local get-together for a tournament we played a Pokemon. Roughly 250 people have already signed up. Pick any deck and I'll play it. Best of a lead. Oh, they're just gonna get rid of my boss though. Wait, but they can't get rid of boss and... No, they could. They can just go boss KO this Tyrantrum and then discard my boss. And I don't have a win condition still. Besides decking them out, actually. I could beat them by decking... Oh, they're down 4 boss. I win with Outrage. That's it. They could have Lissy's Appeal. They could Lissy's Appeal KO the Relicanth, but then I have double Targon to play around the Lissy's Appeal. We got him! We did it! Congratulations, everybody. We did it. Let's go. Huge dub. Huge dub. Oh, could that ever throw a... I could make the... No, it can't, because I went on game with the Relicanth Outrage. You think Alakazam should be playing the Jenny package still? Probably. Overcoming the Unfair Slam is still pretty tough. I don't know, though. I haven't, been testing Alakazam recently. No idea. Let's go.